Hello again, this is Helen Dockrell from Notitia, and this is the video series where we walk through a typical client process. So at this point, we've released both internal processes and external processes. Your team is comfortable with their roles and responsibilities and the content of the workflow. We've got clear roles and responsibilities. You, as a manager, also have clear roles and responsibilities, and you're confident with the long-term direction of this project. At this point, we're looking at developing a long-term touchpoint relationship with us. So it's something that we often get asked at the start of projects is, what happens at the end of this? Can I still ask you questions? Are you going to leave me with no contact point whatsoever? That's absolutely the opposite of what we're trying to do. So we recognize that long-term things spontaneously change. Sometimes you'll have a direction change that's unanticipated. You might decide that you have a different way you want to go with your data source, or you take on some new software, or you decide not to continue licenses with a particular software. Sometimes that impacts your processes directly, sometimes it doesn't. So it can be good to have a contact who can let you know whether there is any critical part of that process that is impacted by that. But it's also sometimes good just to have someone available to brainstorm with you, or to be able to, explain to executive what this means in terms of your current systems. So what we try to do is make sure that you have a touch point with one of our managers. That means that dependent on your requirements, you can access any part of our expertise. So what we do with our support contracts is try to make sure that they're as broad as possible, so that if, say, you realize that you've had a lot of team changeover and you've actually sort of lost a bit of the knowledge that you had earlier on in this project, then maybe the most appropriate thing is to get some training for your team to get them back to that point where they have that confidence. On the other hand, if you find that you've got a really consistent team and what they're actually coming up with is a list of things that they want to extend on, or training to become experts in that field rather than beginners, then it might be more appropriate to provide sort of extended advanced training, or to go through the list of updates to the system that they're requesting and prioritize them with them. Similarly, if you find something like a bug or something about your system that involves a change to the system, but is a very sort of well-known component, like you want to swap a database connection out, or one of your passwords has changed, or something like that. This also means that you can access us for those sorts of updates as well. So we try to keep it really broad so that you can access everyone within the business. So the goal in general is that you always have a consistent touch point, which will be one of our managers, and that through them you can access any member of the team.